He's coming to us. We have what Thanos wants, so that's what we'll use.
Hi and welcome to 2D Talk. I'm Jayse and this is Avengers Infinity War week. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I wanted to do a special video devoted to all things MCU. What we know, what we speculate, and what we hope for. So to start off, Kevin Feige has said people need to be careful what they wish for, but what does that mean? I think it means, as many people, both MCU fans and casual fans alike, have criticized Marvel for not taking the stakes to an 11, I think that Infinity War is going to blow our minds and take some serious and possible harsh steps to elevate the franchise. For those of you not familiar with the source material, the two-part Infinity War saga is based on the 6-part comic book series entitled The Infinity Gauntlet. Now, in these comics, Thanos, who will be played by Josh Brolin, is on a mission to collect all 6 gems called stones in the movies. He's doing this to please the physical embodiment of death. Now, this will be adapted very heavily for the screen, and here's a little rundown of the stones as they stand. Firstly, the Space Stone, as seen in Captain America, the first movie, and the Avengers as the Tesseract. It was used to open a portal to allow the Chitauri into New York, and its energy was harnessed to teleport Thor and Loki back to Asgard at the conclusion of the first Avengers movie. It then took up residence in Odin's vault, and then was taken by Loki in Thor Ragnarok as he was going to go and get Surtur's crown. The Mind Stone. This particular gem made an appearance in both Avengers movies, first as Loki's mind-controlling scepter from the first installment, and then most recently it is currently embedded in the forehead of Vision after helping to create Ultron. The Reality Stone. Now you may know this one as the Ether, as seen in Thor: The Dark World, that's Thor 2. The Reality Stone deals with dark matter and came pretty close to unmaking the universe thanks to the Dark Elves, but Thor thwarted Malekith in his dealings. It is currently in the possession of the Collector, played by Benicio del Toro in Guardians of the Galaxy. The Power Stone. This is the MacGuffin of the Guardians of the Galaxy, used by Ronan the Accuser, played by Lee Pace, and eventually recovered by Star-Lord and the rest of the Guardians. Currently, that is locked safe with the Nova Corps on Xandar. And the Time Stone. Making its first appearance as the Eye of Agamotto in Doctor Strange, we see the Time Stone utilized by the hero in intriguing ways, and that now resides in the halls of Kamar-Taj in Nepal, guarded by Strange and his order of sorcerers. And that just leaves the Soul Stone to appear. Now in the comics, the Soul Stone is usually in the possession of Adam Warlock, a character who may be appearing in the third Guardians film. However, at the moment we have no idea where it is. In one of the TV spots we did see, based on aspect ratio, we did see that actually Thanos had an orange stone, that's the color of the Soul Stone, embedded in the gauntlet when he came through a portal. But that could have just been a trickery of the camera, or it could be something that Marvel Disney put in to make us think we knew where the stone was, but at the moment it is unclear. Now let's move on to some speculation. Mark Ruffalo said in an interview back in November, when he was asked what actors that he'd worked with that he was inspired by and found actually, quite fabulous at their work, he mentioned Cate Blanchett and Tilda Swinton. The former he worked with on Thor Ragnarok, Blanchett, but the latter was in Doctor Strange, a movie that Mark Ruffalo had no part in. So that had people wondering whether he just accidentally revealed that Swinton or both would appear in Avengers Infinity War and the 4th movie. It has long been speculated that Hela could play the physical embodiment of death that Thanos is trying to please, so that actually could have been a revelation that will pay off. Other news tells us that Sebastian Stan's Bucky Barnes will now be going by the codename White Wolf. This in fact is a name already taken by another hero in the comics, that of the adopted white brother of T'Challa, but this character is not well known outside of deep comic book circles, so Feige and co have reimagined this character into the Winter Soldier, and I think it's to good effect. This does pose a theory though. In the comics, after Captain America's death, others take up his moniker and become varying versions of the original, including Bucky, but as he's just been given a new codename and a spiffy new vibranium arm, will he be taking up the shield so soon? I don't think he will. And it leaves two questions. Does that mean Cap survives at least this installment of the Avengers? Or if he does exit for whatever reason, who will take up the role? Speaking of Captain America, it is mentioned that the battle in Wakanda in the trailers was orchestrated by Steve himself in order to protect the Vision from Thanos. His strategy is that Wakanda has remained uninvaded for centuries and that it would be the best place to take a stand against Thanos. Not sure if that's the best idea though, because the nation is still suffering from the treachery of W'Kabi and his border tribe. Plus, the only real wars they've fought are civil ones, not from the outside world, let alone from space. And even Okoye is unsure about this situation, as evidenced in the Chant TV spot, where she says that it's not what she imagined when Wakanda opened their borders. She expected the Olympics or Starbucks. Moving on to Tony Stark. Tony's bleeding edge armor has been fully confirmed. In the comics, the technology for the suit is far different. It comes from nanites that reside inside of his body, but the live action version has the tech coming from a new version of the arc reactor. This makes sense as he spent years living with shrapnel so dangerously close to his heart. I doubt that this version of Tony would like more foreign bodies living inside of him. Some new additions have been added to the suit as well. Wings, purpose unknown, but I think it's for additional propulsion, and new rocket boosters on the arms for outer space travel. Now, we have not yet seen the footage of Thanos throwing a moon at his foes, but a still of this was released some time ago, and it now confirms that the scene takes place on Titan, the home world of Thanos, so it's not our moon that he's just throwing around. Alright, let's move on to the Black Order. The voice cast for the Black Order has been revealed, and now that we know who they are, it seems like it really wasn't worth the wait, but okay, let's see who's who. First, let's start with Proxima Midnight. She will be voiced by Carrie Coon. Now, fans of either the third season of Fargo or HBO's The Leftovers will know her. She was also in Gone Girl as Ben Affleck's sister and Steven Spielberg's The Post. But that's about it. She still has a relatively small filmography on IMDb and Wikipedia, but most of her work has been on the stage. Moving on to Ebony Moore, who will be voiced by Tom Vaughan Lawler, who you may know already as we've seen him in leaked set footage. He also does the motion capture for the character. He is an Irish actor with even fewer credits to his name than Coon, but from the scenes in the trailer so far, it seems that he is a prominent member of the Order. Cull Obsidian will be voiced by Terry Notary, who is a stunt coordinator, double, and movement coach. So expect Cull Obsidian to have some fantastic action scenes because he's been in a lot of mocap action. So Corvus Glaive, husband of Proxima Midnight, the final member and leader of the Order, was revealed on the purple carpet at the premiere the other day. And it's not Peter Dinklage as we thought. It is in fact an actor called Michael James Shaw from Roots and The Wire fame. So that takes Peter Dinklage out of the running. I believe that his character is going to be a massive surprise because he has still not been revealed on IMDb or Wikipedia. One other thing that I found interesting while I was doing my research is that I found that Terry Notary, who is playing Cull Obsidian, is credited as playing that character in both Infinity War and the untitled fourth Avengers movie from multiple sources, whereas the other three have no such credit. So that's really interesting that this character may possibly survive into the next movie. Alright, so let's talk about the greater MCU as a whole. The Marvel Netflix characters will almost certainly not appear in the movie, as both Charlie Cox, who plays Daredevil, and Kristen Ritter, who plays Jessica Jones, saying that it would be an exciting opportunity. But the Russo brothers have been recorded as saying that they considered everyone, but they didn't really discuss much more on that subject. Moving on to one of our fan favourites, who people have a dig at a lot, but he is a fan favourite, and that is Hawkeye. He is notably absent from all the promotional material, as well as his name not even appearing on the posters. When questioned about this, the Russos have said that Hawkeye is on somewhat of a special mission that is top secret. The speculation is that he will come back into the fray as Ronin, a moniker in the comics that has been taken on by multiple characters. Also, on Wikipedia's Marvel Comics page, it says Clint Barton, that's Hawkeye, is the second person to don the Ronin identity, becoming Ronin when he rejoined the New Avengers in the aftermath of Civil War. So that fits perfectly with the movie. The mystery surrounding Hawkeye's absence is very intriguing, and as one of the original members of the Avengers, I find it highly unlikely that he will not turn up and surprise us in some fantastical way. Now, let's try and think about the layout of the movie. Again, there are no spoilers here at all, but for what we're getting is, the movie is expected to start off-world, as it is primarily a Thanos-driven movie. It could start where Thor Ragnarok left off, with Thanos' ship Sanctuary 2 intercepting Thor and the surviving Asgardians as they drift through space. Remember that Loki took the Tesseract, which houses the Space Stone, before Asgard was obliterated. And Thanos has to start somewhere. From there, he may head to Xandar to pick up the Power Stone, to Nowhere to pick up the Ether, and then finally to Earth to pick up the rest. Now, talking about Thanos and stakes, unlike other MCU villains where we knew that the hero would beat whatever problem that he or she was faced with, Thanos is different. With the power of the Infinity Stones, that power that he could wield could change everything that the MCU has been so far, and that is a bold and dynamic direction for the MCU to go in. So, let's get on to a little bit more speculation. There was an article in The Verge that confirmed my ideas that Scarlet Witch could bring about the emergence of the X-Men once the Fox-Disney merger is finalized. And this is because they could basically do the House of M comic book storyline in reverse. In the House of M story, Scarlet Witch is struggling with her powers to the point where she cannot control them. She is becoming mentally unbalanced, and while in this state, she creates a version of a perfect world by altering the lives of many of the Marvel characters, using Professor X's psychic abilities to power this change. The same Professor X that had not long before had a meeting to discuss her powers becoming very dangerous and even contemplated killing her to save the world as they knew it. In this new version of reality, a lot of the characters have very different lives, but the problem is that Wolverine, always Wolverine, wakes up in this new reality with all of his old memories, and he is certain that something is very wrong. After a series of events that lead to other characters being awoken to what has happened to them, Quicksilver dies at the hands of Magneto, sending Scarlet Witch into a mad frenzy, and she utters the words, "No more mutants." Just 3 words, and immediately wiping out 99% of mutant abilities on the planet. Now in the MCU, Wanda has lost a lot: her twin, her home, her freedom, and with Thanos on the rampage, she may lose vision. This could be the catalyst that leads her to use her powers to try and bring her loved ones back due to her overwhelming loneliness, and in doing so, she could accidentally create the mutants. So what do you think about that notion with the House of M? Comment below and let me know. So to summarize, Infinity War is currently on track to becoming one of the biggest openings of all time, as recent polls taken have 45% of moviegoers saying that this is their #1 movie to see, whereas The Force Awakens had 33% of moviegoers saying the same thing at the time. And as I mentioned in Real Movie News, based on their track record, all of the 3rd installments of the MCU movies have done the best: Iron Man 3, Captain America Civil War, and Thor Ragnarok. So will the 3rd Avengers movie follow in the same trend? Its projections range from 190 million to 235 million plus. So to beat The Force Awakens to become the biggest opening of all time, they need to get over 249 million. Again, comment below with a target number that you think this movie will open at. So that's my thoughts and rundown on Infinity War, the MCU and its future. Tell me, how excited are you about this movie and its potential repercussions through the MCU as a whole? Please comment below and let me know. Please like, share, and of course subscribe. Don't forget to get us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. Also, I'd like to do a big shout out to Marvel Addict's Facebook page, and also all the other YouTube Facebook pages out there that have been so helpful in helping us grow. We really appreciate it. And I have a shout out for Nick Harrison, my Captain America. Until next time guys, enjoy the movie this weekend if you are seeing it. If you haven't got your tickets yet, get your tickets. This is an event movie. You guys take care of yourself. See you later. Bye bye.